Good evening, everyone. I'm Rajashekar, representing Mamata Machinery in India. I would like to thank and also congratulate the entire team of Elite Press, Vidhi Verma, and industry for another successful chapter of Elite Press. Since morning, we have been discussing about the unsolved issue in packaging, which is availability of recyclable flexible film. And this has been the common thing in all presentations so far. I'm here to let you know that we have finally found a homegrown solution for this long-awaited problem that we have been speaking of. A recyclable, flexible laminate from brand owners and industry alike available today for large-scale production. Let's look at it in 4 parts. The world today, the problem statements that we have been hearing since morning, how Mamata accelerates this flexible packaging circularity, the potential application that we can address with the homegrown solution that we have, and what is the call to action for the industry today. Let's look at some of the industry figures. Some of these have already been repeated since morning. The flexible packaging market in India today is $20.5 billion, growing at a CAGR of 11.5%, estimated to surpass $35 billion by 2030. Flexible packaging dominates India's plastic packaging in the range of 70 to 75% of total usage. Food and FMCG sector prefers this packaging because of its versatility. To fulfill this demand, industry is producing and supplying diverse MLP compositions which result in wide range of non-recyclable flexible packaging entering the Indian market and also entering into the landfill. Regulation is catching up fast. India's plastic waste management now mandates 20% recycled content in flexible packaging. EPR frameworks, recycled content mandates, and packaging waste regulation are tightening across Europe, Asia, and America as we speak, at different speeds, but in the same direction. Flexibles are not a side issue anymore, which has been established since morning, and we all know it's the core of the problem today. And since morning, we have all been talking about when are we going to find a solution. And in one of the panel, we were also imagining come 2030 and what actions are we going to take today. So if we are able to solve circularity for flexibles, and if we solve this issue, then majority of the global plastic packaging problem is taken care of. I want to walk you through 3 case studies, and our industry has already proven it, tried that circularity works. The first, we all know, is the PET bottle circularity. A PET bottle, after contents are consumed, it again picked up by the rack pickers and again becomes a PET bottle. Same is the case with paper-based packaging. A stronger value chain here enables that the collection and reprocessing at the recycler's end is achieved so that fiber gets retained and then the paper is brought back to life. Closer to flexible packaging, there is a great success story that we all know is in milk pouches in India. Even this has been able to crack the circularity problem. Why? Because there is a structure which has been standardized, making milk pouches to be collected and reprocessed at the recycler's end, showing that even if a flexible film or a flexible format achieves a structure which is standard and harmonized, then circularity is achievable. 3 categories, 3 closed loops. Now let's focus on what we have been discussing since morning. Flexible to flexible. It hasn't started yet. And that's a burning question. When and how? I would like to take you through that as far as the when question is concerned. The solution is available today. Why it has not been achieved so far? As I see, it's primarily because there is no standardized structure available, and hence there is no end-of-life value for flexible film. Hence, there has been no closed loop for the largest packaging category in India. The industry has introduced approximately 24 million tons of plastic wastage into Indian market since the launch of EPR portal in April 2022, which translates to approximately 8 million tons of plastic waste being generated and circulated. And almost 70% of this plastic packaging introduced is flexible in nature and non-recyclable. Sounds scary. So to make it recyclable, what is needed? It's a combination of few factors which needs to be addressed all at one go. So there are 4 key points that we all understand and which was also been mentioned since morning in some of the presentations. One is the lack of recipe or availability of a design or a structure or a recipe which will help in achieving the circularity topic. And as we believe, this should be a monomaterial substrate and 90% of that should fall within the monomaterial substrates. The next key topic is functionality. If you're able to create a recipe, it should also be able to deliver the performance which the legacy structures are delivering in terms of barrier and torque. The third is affordability. We have also heard speakers mentioning about cost disadvantage. If a structure is made available and if it is within the bandwidth of the comfort of the brand owners and also the consumers, then there's a possibility that we may see light end of the tunnel. And the fourth challenge is supply chain, large scale production. We heard some of the speakers talking about scalability. So these are the 4 key topics which has to be addressed. If we focus only on one and ignore the others, then the knot becomes more tighter. So what we did at Mamata was the R&D team and some of our subject experts, they sat through and they tried to put this business case through the golden circle of purpose. So the first and foremost is, why do we need a recyclable flexible film? Very simple answer, because of a cleaner planet, green environment, we want to build a future-ready, sustainable business model for flexible packaging industry. No brainer there. The next difficult question was, how do we do it? And then that's where the technocrats jumped in, and then we all realized that we need to engineer a structure that delivers the required barrier performance. It also establishes recyclability credentials for all the required certifications. There has to be a commercial viability, and also it should be produced at industrial scale. If we're able to achieve these 4 equations, then there is a possibility. And what? So that's Mamata's solution for recyclable flexible laminate, which is homegrown, as I mentioned some time back. We were able to fix all the 4 equations. Recyclable in nature, affordable, strong barrier performance, better than existing legacy structures, and established supply chain. I'm happy to introduce RecTech, recyclable monomaterial packaging film technology from Mamata. So most of the technologies, when they're introduced, they're always claimed as disruptive. RecTech here is not disruptive. RecTech is transformative. Why? Because it can fit into the existing supply chains of brand owners, converters, and processors alike. I'll run a short video which will give you a bit of an interesting connect. We also demonstrated this in Blast India for the first time, and we formally brought this to the market, and thereafter the team has been working in the back end to achieve all the required certifications. how RecTech accelerates flexible packaging circularity. So let's first look at the design features of RecTech. It's a 9-layer co-extruded monomaterial film laminated with reverse printed MPO or BOP. And three things make it work. First, it's engineered as a true monomaterial substrate. Second, it can encapsulate post-consumer recycled content without impacting the outer sealant layers, so recycled material doesn't compromise performance. And third, it uses an ultra-thin EVH barrier at its core that delivers barrier performance better than legacy PET structures. And here we are talking of EVH, which is the range of 2 to 3 micron. That's a design breakthrough, recyclability and performance going hand in hand for the brand owners. And this isn't just a claim. On barrier performance, we have received certifications from Indian Institute of Packaging, Kolkata, and also Mitsubishi Lab in Singapore. Those are some of the certifications. In addition to that, on recyclability, we have received certification not just from one country but from 3 different continents. CIPIT in India, HTP Cyclos in Europe, and APR from USA. The formal certification from APR is awaited while all the back-end work is finished. All 3 are industry gold standards. So one structure validated in 3 global markets for use now. So brand owners, producers, and converters can use this recyclable flexible film with immediate effect. While we have been discussing since morning, when is it that it is going to be available? And here you have the proof. Let's look at some of the design features of RecTech and what benefits it offers to the brand owners and the industry alike. Compared with standard PET polystructure, RecTech cuts down the carbon footprint in the range of 35 to 38% across material, manufacturing, and end of life. The cost delta versus PET polylaminate is approximately 5% and no more. I hope all of you recall McKinsey's presentation last year in the same forum, wherein they did a global survey and they shared the report in which 85% of respondents in India said that they are willing to pay more for a recyclable packaging substrate. And if my memory goes right, they pegged a figure of 15-20% more that consumers were ready to pay. So here we have a recyclable monomaterial flexible film at 5% cost delta. And under EPR framework of India, RecTech qualifies as category 2 packaging and not category 3. That difference means materially lower cost and transport costs and far lower exposure to non-compliance penalties. Put those numbers together, and I don't think you get any better combination than this. A solution recyclers can actually process, brand owners can afford, consumers can afford, and regulators can actually verify. None of this works without right machinery. RecTech is enabled by streamlined co-extrusion die technology that holds an ultra-thin EVH barrier consistently across the full web periphery, also certified by Mitsubishi Lab in Singapore. It's paired with Mamata's future-ready packaging machines and pouch making machines, which also have patents in their own space and with advanced solutions for brand owners and converters. Together, the co-extrusion die technology, the packaging machines, and the converting machines, they all offer the industry, be it the brand owners or the recyclers, the processors, the film producers, a platform to jump into immediately. Now let's look at where the potential applications are for this laminate that has been homegrown. RecTech can immediately replace all flexible applications which use PET PE 70 micron thickness and above. This covers a large majority of the platform, which is pouches, stand-up bags, laminates in use, be it a food segment, or personal care, or home care, or agriculture, pet food, and so on and so forth. RecTech is the immediate answer for varied applications. And this is no more a niche film, it's a platform that we are offering. In summary, RecTech isn't a lab experiment. It's 40 years of experience in plastic film rheology pulled together to deliver the solution that the industry has been asking for. And we also went a few steps ahead to ensure that we check all the boxes: design, functionality, cost, recyclability, environmental footprint, regulatory compliance, portfolio diversification, and consumer experience. All boxes ticked with no trade-offs. What the call to action? Mamata on its own cannot achieve this to scale up, and we need all the industry partners to come forward and collaborate with us. We invite all of you to join the RecTech journey. I would request all of you to also come to a stall which we have and experience the film. Let's make India proud with this homegrown innovation. I would like to also show, before I leave the platform, I would request the cameraman to point here. This is the RecTech virgin film, which has been recycled, and that's the agglomerate. And then the RecTech PCR, which has been thereafter produced again for a flexible film. And both have same properties: performance properties, barrier properties, dark properties, which the industry has been asking for. So on this note, I would like to thank all of you and invite all of you to our booth and also join hands with us so that we can offer the much awaited solution that the industry has been asking. Thank you and Jai Hind.